Welcome to Lunch Break Wisdom, short ideas from the world's most influential books designed for a quiet break between work, a commute home, or a moment to think more clearly. Today's episode explores The Vision of Islam by Sachiko Murata and William Chittick. Of all the books in our Islam playlist, this one is perhaps the most philosophical. While some books explain what Muslims believe or describe the life of the Prophet Muhammad, the Vision of Islam asks a deeper question. What is Islam trying to cultivate within the human being? The authors argue that many people reduce religion to a set of rules. Pray this way, avoid these actions, follow these obligations. But beneath these practices lies a larger vision, one concerned with transforming how human beings relate to God, to others, to the world, and ultimately to themselves. At the heart of the book lies a profound idea. Religion is not merely about compliance, it is about transformation. The authors explain that Islamic tradition often speaks of three interconnected dimensions of the spiritual life: Islam, Iman, Ihsan. These concepts provide a framework not only for understanding Islam, but for understanding personal development more broadly. The first dimension is Islam, often translated as submission. At the practical level, this refers to outward actions: prayer, charity, fasting, pilgrimage, ethical conduct, discipline. These practices structure life around intentionality rather than impulse. In modern terms, Islam recognizes that who we become is shaped by what we repeatedly do. Habits matter, ritual matters, behavior shapes identity. Even outside religious context, this principle remains true. Athletes train consistently, musicians practice regularly. Healthy relationships depend upon repeated acts of care. Transformation often begins with action. But the authors emphasize that outward behavior alone is insufficient. This leads to the second dimension, Iman or faith. Faith here extends beyond intellectual agreement. It involves trust, conviction, and orientation of the heart. The authors describe Iman as cultivating an awareness that life possesses meaning and moral significance. Without inner belief, external practices risk becoming mechanical. At the same time, belief without action risks remaining abstract. The relationship between the two resembles that between roots and branches. Healthy roots nourish visible growth. Visible growth confirms healthy roots. In everyday life, many people experience a disconnect between values and behavior. We know what matters, yet we struggle to live accordingly. The concept of Iman invites alignment. Do my actions reflect what I claim to believe? Am I living in accordance with my deepest principles? The third dimension, and perhaps the most beautiful, is Ihsan. Ihsan is often translated as excellence, beauty, or spiritual virtue. According to Islamic tradition, Ihsan means worshiping God as though you see Him, and even if you do not see Him, recognizing that He sees you. The authors explain that Ihsan transforms duty into devotion. It elevates ordinary actions through sincerity and presence. Someone can perform the same task mechanically or beautifully. The difference lies in intention and awareness. A parent preparing breakfast, a teacher guiding students, a doctor treating patients, a manager leading teams. The question becomes, how can I perform this action with excellence and integrity? Ihsan suggests that spirituality is not limited to explicitly religious activities. Any action undertaken with sincerity, compassion, and excellence can become meaningful. Another major theme in the book concerns the nature of the human being. Modern culture often reduces identity to external achievements, career success, physical appearance, social status. The authors present an alternative view. Human beings possess both physical and spiritual dimensions. They require nourishment not only for the body, but also for the heart and soul. Neglecting inner development creates imbalance. People may achieve extraordinary success while experiencing profound emptiness. This insight resonates strongly today. Rates of anxiety, loneliness, and burnout continue to rise despite unprecedented technological advancement. The book invites readers to reconsider what constitutes a flourishing life. Another profound concept explored is fitra. Fitra refers to the innate disposition toward truth, goodness, and recognition of the divine. According to this perspective, human beings are not fundamentally broken. Rather, they become distracted, conditioned, forgetful. Spiritual growth therefore involves remembrance, returning to what is already present beneath layers of fear, ego, and attachment. This idea appears across many wisdom traditions, whether described as awakening, self-realization, or rediscovering one's authentic nature. The underlying message remains similar. Transformation may involve uncovering rather than acquiring. The authors also emphasize balance. Islamic spirituality rejects extremes. Material life is not inherently evil, nor should material pursuits dominate existence entirely. Human beings are encouraged to work, build families, pursue knowledge, and contribute to society. Yet they are also reminded that possessions should remain tools rather than masters. This balance feels increasingly relevant. Modern societies often oscillate between overwork and escapism. Productivity without meaning leads to exhaustion. Contemplation without engagement risks irrelevance. Wisdom lies in integration. The book further explores the interconnectedness of all existence. Creation is viewed as meaningful rather than random. Nature becomes a source of reflection. Beauty becomes a reminder. Relationships become opportunities for ethical growth. This perspective encourages reverence. People may begin noticing aspects of life previously overlooked. Sunlight through trees, acts of kindness, moments of silence. Ordinary experiences acquire extraordinary significance. Another recurring theme involves the purification of the heart. Classical Islamic scholars identified traits such as arrogance, envy, greed, and resentment as obstacles to spiritual growth. The challenge is not merely external behavior, it is inner character. Many people focus on changing circumstances while neglecting the internal patterns that shape experience. The authors encourage honest self-examination. Where am I driven by fear? Where do I seek validation? What habits of thought diminish compassion? This work requires courage, but lasting transformation often begins internally. The book also addresses the relationship between knowledge and wisdom. Information alone does not guarantee maturity. One may accumulate facts while remaining unkind. Highly educated individuals may still struggle with humility. Wisdom involves integrating knowledge into character. How does what I know influence how I live? This distinction remains vital in the information age. Access to knowledge has expanded dramatically. The challenge increasingly lies in embodiment. Toward the end of the book, the authors emphasize love as a driving force within spiritual life, not sentimental affection, but love expressed through service, gratitude, compassion, commitment. Love directs attention outward. It dissolves excessive self-preoccupation. It motivates sacrifice. Ultimately, the vision of Islam invites readers beyond superficial understandings of religion. It suggests that spiritual traditions are not merely systems of obligation. At their best, they offer maps for human flourishing. They seek to cultivate discipline without rigidity, faith without fanaticism, excellence without perfectionism, love without attachment. Whether one approaches this book as a believer, a seeker, or simply a student of human experience, its insights remain valuable. Live intentionally, align actions with values, strive for excellence. Care for both the outer and inner dimensions of life. Remain humble. Practice gratitude. And remember that becoming a better human being often involves returning to truths we have known all along, but somehow forgotten amidst the noise of modern life. Perhaps the deepest lesson of all is this: a meaningful life is not built through extraordinary moments alone. It is shaped through the quality of our attention, how we pray, how we work, how we listen, how we love, how we show up in the countless ordinary moments that ultimately define who we become. And in that sense, spirituality is not an escape from life. It is an invitation to participate in it more fully. In summary, key concepts in the book The Vision of Islam: 1. Islam, Iman, Ihsan, practice, belief, and spiritual excellence. 2. Transformation over compliance. Religion aims to shape character. 3. Fitra, the innate human orientation toward truth and goodness. 4. Balance, integrating material and spiritual life. 5. Purification of the heart, addressing inner obstacles such as pride and envy. 6. Knowledge must become wisdom. Information should influence behavior. 7. Love as service, compassion expressed through action. Everyday takeaways for you. Align your daily habits with your core values. Pursue excellence in ordinary responsibilities. Make time for reflection amidst busyness. Care for both external success and inner well-being. Practice humility and gratitude regularly. Recognize that personal growth often involves remembering what truly matters. What spiritual traditions or philosophical books would you like explored next in Lunch Break Wisdom? Share your recommendations below. Please subscribe and comment.